Here are some of my non-negotiables in dating that will definitely make a lot of people mad, but if you're mad, I don't care. Stay mad.
Hi people, welcome and welcome back. So in our today's conversation is about non-negotiables in a relationship. These are boundaries you set. If crossed, then no two ways about it. You need to go separate ways. And most of the times, these non-negotiables, you both avail them just at the starting of a relationship. So we are going to watch together the videos. At the end of the video, I will leave my own comment. Please stick around.
Here are some of my non-negotiables in dating that will definitely make a lot of people mad, but if you're mad, I don't care. Stay mad. Number 1, no coffee dates. Now, do I think coffee dates are bad? No. It works for some people, but not for me. And I know people who do not like coffee dates as well say that coffee dates are low effort, but for me, it's because it reminds me of work. I go to coffee shops, open my laptop, and work. And if you take me to a coffee shop, it would just remind me of work and I cannot concentrate on the date. That's my explanation. And if you're mad with my first point, you will be mad with my second point. The guy should always plan the date and pay for the date. I do not believe in 50-50, especially if the guy was the one who asked me on the date. Here's the thing. The guy paying the date is a little gesture that tells me something about the guy. In most cases, it shows me that he is a good provider and a good leader. Most cases, not all, okay? Yes, there are some guys who use these things to manipulate women, which is another topic for another video. And if you're the type of man to ask, oh, but what do you bring to the table? Myself, my presence, sprinkle, sprinkle. Next, the man should have a job with decent pay. It goes beyond money, okay? If a guy has a job and can handle his job well, it shows me that he can handle his life well. And if he can handle his life well, he can handle his dating life or his relationships well. Number 4, my boyfriend should not be following random girls on social media. Not that there's anything wrong with those girls, but I do believe that the man's following shows how much he respects his girlfriend or his wife. If you yell at me, cállate y fuera de aquí. Bye-bye. Adios. Of course, we are humans with emotions. I do believe that a man in his healthy masculine energy knows how to communicate his emotions, his thoughts, his feelings, rather than just yelling at the girl. Because, yeah, relationships have problems, and if you can't communicate, then why are you in a relationship? That's it. Bye.
3 non-negotiables in a relationship. Number 1, and the most important one, is reassurance. I don't care how confident anyone is in a relationship, you need to tell your significant other, I love you. You need to tell them that they're the most beautiful person in the entire world. You need to tell them that they look amazing. That reassurance is key. And number 2 is make time. We are both busy. I know everyone's busy in their life. Everyone has things to do. Everyone has places to be, but make that time. Take that time, make that time, prioritize your relationship. And number 3, some people are going to find this very contradicting, or they're going to probably try to fight me on it, but you need to be posted on their socials, their social media, their life. You need to be shown, you need to be like literally flaunted, because that is where you're obviously posting your life and you are now a part of their life. So if you want to be in a happy, healthy, loving relationship, take those 3 non-negotiables. Bye.
Here are my 7 non-negotiables that completely changed my dating life when I started to implement them. Number 1, consistency. I grew up in a household where my father was incredibly inconsistent, and thus I had terrible abandonment issues and a lot of anxiety I had to work through. So now a non-negotiable for me is consistency. The person I go to bed to is the person I want to fucking wake up to. When I see mixed signals, hot and cold, words not matching actions, if it's somebody that I've been dating for a while and this is new, I will have a conversation with them and talk about it. And if it's somebody that is relatively new off the bat, I'm out there. I am out before I can even fucking say goodbye. Number 2, reciprocity. I don't play the games. This bullshit of playing hard to get and not texting this and not texting that and being scared about saying what you want. No. If somebody likes me, you can show that to me in your actions, and you can show, and I will step up and reciprocate that back to you. I want a tennis match. When I throw the ball, you throw it back to me. None of this shit any other way. 3, open communication and dialogue. Communication in a relationship is literally number 1. So if I feel like I can't express myself, it's not a safe space for me to tell somebody how I'm feeling. Obviously, if it's after a first date, you have to know when and where an appropriate time is, but there should be an open communication and dialogue. The healthiest relationship I've ever been in had the most communication I have ever been required to in a relationship, and that is the only way we're able to move through our shit. Number 4, handle your fucking emotions. Be an adult. I am not here to be your mother, to be your therapist, or to be your friend. I can call you out on your bullshit if you do something in the moment, but above that, if you can't even handle your emotions, why would I want to be out with somebody that acts like a child, especially towards me or towards other people? If I can handle my emotions, learn how to fucking handle yours. 5, you accept me for who I am and vice versa. Way too often I get, well, how can I change them? And how can I deal with this? And what do I have to do? No, at the end of the day, when you meet somebody, you take them for face value. Who they show you they are is who the fuck they are. Stop trying to change them. Stop trying to project onto them. And I will not allow anybody to do that with me. You accept me for who I am when you meet me, or you don't get any further into my life with any other version of me that you want me to be. 6, How they make me feel is a lot more important than how I feel about them. Matthew Hussey talks about this all the time, and it is something that changed my dating world. I don't go out and looking and say, oh, but I felt so much for him about this, because a lot of the times that could be your anxiety, and it could be a lot of triggers, and that could be just a really great facade that they've put on. But what's more important is, how do I feel around this person versus how do I feel about them? And last but not least, growth-minded is a must. I am in therapy. I am calling myself out of my shit. I have incredible self-awareness, and I have done the inner child and healing work, and I am not here to be your fucking therapist. Have somebody that you talk to, have its support system, and be doing the work that you need to do so you don't project your past shit onto me.
I've got a podcast coming out soon on dating rules, but I'm going to share some with you while I write them down. These dating rules are non-negotiable. Number one, you at the early stages should be dating more than one person. We as women get very attached to a certain person. We paint them with the qualities we wish them to have. We decide that somehow they have these qualities, but really it's qualities you yourself have. You should be dating and seeing the different types of dynamics you could have with people, not sleeping with them, dating them. That's what you should be doing. Number two, if he's not confirmed, it's not happening. No, you don't need to follow up. You don't need to follow up. You don't need to ask him if he's lost his phone, lost his life, lost his mind. If he hasn't followed up, it's not happening. You should have a value system in your head that if he doesn't follow up on a Thursday or say where it is or what we're doing, like, yep, we're going on Friday, it's going to be here. You don't need to text, oh, is it still on? It's not on. It's not on. Make your own plans. And if he turns up last minute, do not go on that date. Do you understand? Because then you're going to set the paradigm of always working that way. Be busy, go do something else, plan something else. But I'll go further into that on my podcast. Last but not least, we're not asking men, what are we? We are not asking men, what are we and where is this relationship going? If he wants to enough, he will lock it down. Because remember, we're dating several people. We're not sleeping with them, we're dating them. And if he wants you seriously enough, you're telling me men conquer worlds and do all this madness that we always want to stop them from doing, but he can't pull his finger out and ask you if you want to be exclusive. You don't want to be with that man who you have to drag kicking and screaming into a relationship. So don't ask him. Trust me, if he's really into you and he wants it, it will naturally go that way and it will flow that way. You don't need to micromanage him and herd him like a cat. It doesn't need to happen.
These should be your 3 non-negotiables in the beginning of dating. When a guy shows you disrespect or calls you names in the very beginning of dating, you have to wish him well and show him the door. Because if you show him that you still accept him, even after he has shown you his worst side, he will not be able to respect you. The second non-negotiable is forget about the guys who see themselves as a victim in society. This is the kind of guy who will always compare himself to others. He is weak and he will give you stories of, if my situation were different, then I would be able to achieve my goals. You will never be able to go anywhere with that kind of guy. And your third non-negotiable should be that the guy should never question or make fun of your boundaries. Your boundaries are there to protect you and they show how much you value yourself. And by him not accepting them shows that he wants to manipulate you. As a woman, you should never ever be put in the position to feel that you have to explain yourself, because a man who's really interested in you will see your value and therefore he will accept you.
5 relationship non-negotiables that I'll teach my future daughter. Part 1. Number 1, attention. If you want him to text you all day, every day, and be excited to do so, there's nothing wrong with that. Number 2, your love language. Let them know how you need love expressed, even if you have to teach them a little bit. By the way, apparently they added 2 more love languages to the list, so go check those out in case you want to ask for those too. Number 3, material possessions. As long as you know that what you're asking for is well within their means, don't you dare be shy to ask for a little gift here and there. Number 4, date nights. Whether it's a Sunday Costco day, my personal favorite, or a fancy 5-course dinner, you deserve someone who is not afraid to give you an exact time and place. Number 5, boundaries with family. If there should ever be conflict with his family, he should be the liaison, spokesperson, and buffer between you and them. They'll forgive him way more easily than they'll forgive you. I want my baby to know that if she ever thinks she's asking for too much, she's probably just asking the wrong one.
Here are 3 of my dating non-negotiables. Number 1 is being cheap. There is nothing more unattractive than a cheap man. I would rather date a guy who doesn't have a lot of money over a guy that has money but is cheap and does not have a provider mindset. A guy that is cheap just gives off a scarcity mindset. Like, he's scared to lose his money. Like, he doesn't know how he can make it again if he spends it. It's really weird. Also, I was raised in a way that I have always been very independent. I've worked since I was 16. I've always made my own money. But every time I would go out with my dad, he would always say, when dad's around, do not pull out your wallet. I need the guy that I'm dating to find it rude for me to pull out my wallet. Like, I don't want him to want me to fake pay, none of that. Number 2 is not keeping your word. Not doing what you say you're gonna do. Not showing up, not texting, not calling what you said you would. Even if you don't do it to me, but you do it to other people, I think that's super unattractive and shows a huge lack of integrity. There is nothing that shows flaws in your character more than not keeping your word. Do what you say you're gonna do to me, to yourself, to your friends, or else how can I really trust you or build trust with you at all? And 3, constantly prioritizing your friends over me. Guys are so in love with their boys that they'd rather spend so much more time with them than the girl that they're getting to know. If you don't want to spend the beginning stages of a relationship getting to know the girl that you're interested in, then maybe you shouldn't be dating. Maybe you should still be hanging out with your boys all the time. Because when you're ready to date, you need to invest the crucial amount of time that it takes to build on that relationship.
Well, everyone has non-negotiables they can't tolerate in a relationship. Kindly share your non-negotiables in the comment section below. Everybody's non-negotiables are different, but be clear with your non-negotiables at the start of the relationship. And be prepared to stand on business when boundaries crossed, not after the damage has been done, but before it hits that place it can actually happen. That is a boundary that you set, that this is the non-negotiable, meaning we are not negotiating this. It's the end of the relationship. One of the things I don't find as non-negotiables is cheating. Cheating is in a lot of forms, so you have to set clear details about what cheating is for you, because it varies from person to person. Keep it in mind that what you see in a man in the early stages of dating is him on his best behavior. So guys, be clear always on your non-negotiables. Anyway, thank you so much for being part of this conversation. Please don't forget to leave your comment in the comment section below and subscribe to this channel. Like and share this video. See you in the next video and stay safe.